She's sweet, she's salty, she's smart and craves chocolate every day. Here is your host, the Greek goddess of comedy, Ellen Karis.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sweet and Salty with Ellen Karis. I am your host, Ellen Karis, and you are listening to the guest edition of Sweet and Salty. Yes, we finally have a guest. I told you we were going to have a guest, and I said it was going to be a big one. And I'm delivering, people. Very excited. Today is Tuesday, March 31st, 2026. That's it. First quarter, 2026, over, out, in the books.
Yeah.
You got to enjoy every minute, folks.
Absolutely.
So I'm trying very much with our guest not to fangirl because today's guest is a renowned songwriter, singer, and the husband, partner, father of her children of my favorite singer, songwriter in the world, Donna Summer.
We have that in common.
I have chills. I have chills. So without further ado, please welcome my guest, Bruce Sudano.
Yay.
I like to say very Italian.
We both have the same favorite female singer.
First of all, let me just thank Ken for putting this all together. I've been trying to get Bruce for a long time, and we finally made magic. And Donna Summer, to me, she's the icon. And let me just say, for if there's younger people listening to this, and I hope that there is, okay, because you can learn a lot from me. Listen to Donna Summer if you haven't heard her already, which I think everybody has, because even if you go to the clubs, they're still playing her music. Yeah. But she was, I know, for lack of a better word, she was special. There was something about her that nobody else had. And she, first of all, she had a golden voice, a beautiful, beautiful golden voice. And she was so classy. And honestly, up until the play that was on Broadway for a short while, the Donna Summer play, and the HBO documentary that was on, I think, a year or two ago. Of course, I watched. I didn't really know that much about her because she, celebrity back then, first of all, was different. We didn't have social media. We didn't have 1,000 channels where people could be on. There weren't podcasts. It was just so different. So there was so much about this woman that I did not know. But always loving her music. Like, I could be dead tired, and if I hear a Donna Summer song, and let me just rattle off just a few. Love to Love You, Baby. Everybody's heard that, or at least the tune to it. I Feel Love, Bad Girls, Dim the Lights, Heaven Knows, On the Radio, Hard for the Money, The Time I Know Is Real, and two of my absolute favorites, MacArthur's Park and Enough is Enough, which is a duet with Barbra Streisand. And there's so many others. It's her catalog is huge, and I know that you've been a part of it. So I can ramble on forever about how I feel about Donna Summer, but I have her husband here. Her husband, father of her children, collaborator. So I just want to kind of go back really to the beginning. When and where did you meet the fabulous Donna Summer?
We met in March of 1977 in Los Angeles, and we were at both. We were on related record labels, and there was a person who was a girl from Brooklyn who was the head of publicity at Casablanca Records. Her name was Susan Mineo. Her name is Susan Mineo. And so Donna was coming to visit her publicity person, and Susan was a friend from the neighborhood, and myself and Jobine Esposito and Eddie Hoganson, my two partners in the Brooklyn Dreams. We all met on that day, and we all started writing songs from the minute we met, and and we went from there.
So you are from Brooklyn,
I am from Brooklyn, yes.
Flatbush,
Yes. Yeah.
and and you've traveled all over the world. You've lived in a lot of
Uh,
different places. I'm not
uh,
sure where you are now. I think you're in another country,
I am in Milan right now.
Milan.
Yeah.
Does Brooklyn ever leave you?
No. Well, first of all, well, not even first of all, but one of our daughters' name is Brooklyn,
Yes. I was
and
hoping you were going to say that. Yes.
yeah,
Which I thought
and
is
no,
excellent.
I always, I love Brooklyn. I love what Brooklyn represents. I love what Brooklyn gave me. And Brooklyn is a place, I believe that every city has a spirit, and Brooklyn is the most interesting place in that, it's a neighborhood. There's all different kinds of people. You could be living next door to a nuclear scientist, and on the other side could be the sanitation guy,
Right.
and everybody gets along. And the thing about Brooklyn that it gave to me was that you were in a neighborhood and you were removed from the world, and the neighborhood was the world. But at the same time, you had the possibility of crossing the bridge into the world where all things were possible. So Brooklyn gives you the ability to dream in a real way, because whatever you can dream is not that far away. So that's how I always felt about Brooklyn, and I carry that spirit with me to this day.
That's a beautiful homage, and very well said. If you're because if you're not from around here, it's kind of hard to explain exactly what goes on. There's a lot of elements to it, but obviously it shaped you as a person. It shaped you as a musician. So
Yep.
so so you meet Donna out in California, and
Yeah.
sparks fly.
Yeah.
And what was the first project that the two of you worked on together? What was the first song that we would know of,
Uh, hmm.
or what
Well,
just
I
first
mean,
song in general? Yeah.
we started. We wrote a lot of songs together. The first project we worked on together was Brooklyn Dreams sang background vocals on a song of hers called "I Remember Yesterday." It was the title track of the album she was working on at that particular time. And then she returned the favor and sang a background vocal on the first Brooklyn Dreams album on a song called "Old Fashioned Girl." And so we started working in the studios together, and writing songs together, and wrote lots of songs. But the biggest song that we wrote together was "Bad Girls."
Mm.
That was the one that was and worked a lot on, worked a lot on that album, and that album ended up being maybe her biggest album.
Her signature
Yeah.
album.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So and she, I mean, because we know her really more as a singer, not as much
Huh.
as a songwriter.
Yeah.
And she, if I know her background correctly, she grew up in Boston, the Boston area. So
Right.
she's from the East Coast,
Yeah.
and it was the church, right? Was that what she started, kind of got her start in singing? I mean,
Yeah.
somebody must have said, "Oh my goodness, this young girl has this
Yeah.
amazing voice."
Yeah, I started singing in church. It's kind of a familiar story. Came out of church singing, but at the age of 18, moved to New York with a rock band. Had a rock band called The Crow, And at the same, it was at the same time that I was in another band called Alive and Kickin'. And Alive and Kickin' had a big hit song back in 1970 called Tighter, Tighter. And so we were kind of on the same circuit of playing clubs around in New York and in the Village and this and that. And then at the age of 19, she moved to Germany to be in the German cast of Hair. She lived in Germany for 8 years, spoke fluent German. That's where she met her producers, Giorgio Moroder and Pete Bellotti, and they started, you know, taking over the world.
So, so she comes back to the States at some point, right? And then
Yep.
and then again, just to skip over to, when the two of you met. So
Yeah.
when so so when did she start to do the live performances, right? It was obviously after the first hit. I mean, what was it like? Wait, let me just ask this question first. What was it like for her when she realized, oh my goodness, people are knowing me? Like, well, you hear your song on the radio, they're saying her name. Maybe she started to do some television appearances. What was that like? Like, what? How was she sort of processing all that? Because all of a sudden now you have all this attention.
Yeah, I mean, it was a full-time job. Brooklyn Dreams and Donna, we toured together. Um, and so it was, a constant roller coaster of writing songs, going in the studio, going on tour, TV performances, press, and then back around again. So you know, it was very fast. We were going 150 miles an hour for, a few years there. It wasn't until we got married in 1980. And In 1983, we made a decision to leave Hollywood and we moved to a ranch out in Thousand Oaks, California. We have three daughters, so we moved out there when the girls were small, and so we kind of escaped the whole scene and kind of managed our careers on our own terms. Um, there were moments when people felt that um, we were making wrong career decisions. Um, but our philosophy was, you know, life is more than a career. So we were trying to make good life decisions, and we were trying to maintain our relationship, our family, our creativity, our, her ability to have, 56 acres to walk around and not to feel the pressure of every time you turn a corner or walk somewhere, you're being, and she loves her fans. She has great fans to this very day, and she was always gracious and, um, but it was a lot. And you know, you know, she was the biggest star of the moment in that time. So anybody can look at any particular star in any particular moment, and if however you relate to that, that's what it was like for her in that moment. But the idea is to survive it and have a full life, and so I think we accomplished that, and for that
Well,
I'm grateful.
I mean, you talk about working mom. I mean, the three
Yeah,
kids, got are
yeah,
pregnant, all this, all these
yeah,
things that people do,
yeah.
and
Well,
traveling.
and she did write the song. She works hard for the money.
Oh my, I have chills. I'm so in awe of her. And I feel like as a musician, she doesn't get, I mean, she gets talked about, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want the next generation, like we all know her, I want that next generation,
Yeah.
to really know, not only know her, but to really enjoy her music. I mean, I'm very sour on music these days. I mean, I love jazz and the classical and all that, of course. And again, I'm not this music expert. I don't want to make myself out to be that. But I hear music. I know what I like and what I don't like. And for a very long time, there's a lot of music that gets played today in the last 20 years that, between the lyrics that I'm like, what? And just the beat that just doesn't do anything for me. So, that music, I think was very special. And, people categorize it as disco and dance. It was just happy, good,
Yeah.
fun, bringing
Uplifting. Yeah.
together music.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's funny. She's one of the very few. I mean, she's right up there to me with like Elvis. She's in that very, very the Beatles. Like she's in that very
Mhm.
special category. And
Yeah.
like a song like "Last Dance" is synonymous with it's time to wrap up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Absolutely.
How many people have a signature song like that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. At the wedding, at the bar mitzvah,
Yep.
she just really had a very magical moment just recently with Alicia Liu. Is that how I'm saying her name right? Uh, Won the gold medal in figure skating to MacArthur Park, and
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
was a really, really special moment. It was worldwide, and it really, to your point about people being aware or, becoming aware of Donna, um, that was a very instrumental moment in making that happen for right now because that went viral all over the world.
That's great. Well, and then
Yeah,
that's the good news about today is today that we can do that, and she'll
yeah.
definitely get to be known, in that way. Do you have any memorable TV moments? Any like good stories about? I don't know what shows did she go on to? Was it the Tonight Show? There was
Oh
variety
yeah,
shows too back then, right? Like Sonny and Cher, and I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah,
Did
no,
she do those?
all those TV shows. I mean, one good TV story I can tell you is in 1980, my parents were getting divorced, and I was in a back bedroom working on a song, and she knocks on the door, sticks her head in the door, and says, "You should put a line in that song, something about all the king's horses and all the king's men." And I was like, "Okay." So I finished the song, and then she's going on the Tonight Show, the Johnny Carson show. And the song is called "Starting Over Again," and it's about the divorce of my parents. And I was in my late 20s at the time, but it still affected me.
Yeah.
And so she comes to me and she says, "I'm going on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson tonight, and I'm going to sing this song starting over again." And I said, "Well, you really can't do that. You're going on the show because you're going on to promote your current single. You have to sing the song that's your next single." So she said, "Well, no, I'm going to sing starting over again. Maybe they'll allow me to do two songs." And I said, "Well, look, but why would you want to sing that song?" And she said, "Well, maybe if I sing the song and your parents hear it, they'll stay together." And I was like, "Wow, that is really sweet." Anyway, of course, she goes on the show. She sings the song. The next day, people from Dolly Parton's manager calls the house and says, "What song is that? Has anybody recorded it?" I say, "No." Dolly Parton records the song and it becomes a number one country song. And that's how it happened. And just because Donna was being gracious in her wanting to sing the song because hopefully it would, you know, uh, make my parents want to stay together. So
Oh,
Dolly got it. So I got a number one song out of it, but my parents didn't stay together.
oh well, they had other plans.
I guess so. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's great. What was Dolly Parton like? I mean, did you have any interaction with her?
Yeah, Dolly's great. Well, what you see is what you get. You know, she's
She's such
a bundle of energy. Her and Donna were great friends. They were both Capricorns. They got along great. You know,
so
a lot.
who that's like another question like was who were her famous friends? Anybody? Because I don't get the
Hmm.
impression that she was. I mean, first of all, you guys had a full life, like you said, you had children and all that. I don't get the impression that she was wrapped up in the whole Hollywood scene and parties and whatever else went on, in those days. But she obviously she had some good famous friends.
Well, probably. I mean, I don't know if I don't know. You know, again, this goes back to the age of the audience, but our neighbor in California was Sophia Loren, and
Oh,
Donna and Sophia were great friends, and our families were friends, and we traded vegetables and swimming pools, and it was a really special moment, and Donna and Sophia were a very beautiful pair together.
oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah,
But who knew that?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
great. What was it like? One of my favorite songs, as I mentioned, is "Enough Is Enough."
Mhm.
And so, can you tell me how that came together? And to have Barbara Streisand, who was still, obviously Barbara Streisand at this time, but to put those two voices together in that song, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the vocal range in that song, because of the what the two of them had, is it's just incredible. It's magic. It's like it doesn't happen.
Yeah. The mastermind of that was Paul Jabara. Paul Jabara wrote "Enough Is Enough" with Bruce Roberts, and who's also another great songwriter. And you know, Paul wrote "Last Dance" and "Enough Is Enough," and just had the idea. You know, he was friends with Barbara, and he put it together. Um, Donna went out to Malibu. They worked on it a little bit and went in the studio and cut it. And it stands the test of time, you know.
It really does. That's a great way to describe it. I love that song. It just sometimes when I'm coming home late at night, whether it's a gig or whatever, I go and I have to. I don't have like songs on my phone, which I really should, but sometimes I'll just be walking and
Mhm.
I'll YouTube it and then I'll just listen to it as I'm walking. It just gives me so
Yeah,
much energy. It's so good.
yeah,
It's so fun to listen to.
yeah.
So you
It's a
have
great
this.
arrangement, a great production.
Yeah.
In those days, like a song like "Enough Is Enough" was pre-synthesizer, so just pre-synthesizer. So in those days, those dance records were made with live musicians in the studio. Um, string sections, horn sections, and uh, Giorgio Moroder and Pete Bellotti, great producers, and the engineer on that, Jurgen Kopper's an amazing recording engineer. So it was just a whole team of super talented people, and you know, uh, when magic happens, it's not only about the one person. There's always a chemistry of people that goes around it that makes that magic happen when it happens.
Mhm.
Everybody's always chasing the magic, and you do your best to do the trick every time, but it doesn't happen every time. And so when it does, it's magic.
Yeah.
But it takes a great team.
Yeah. Yeah. What I mean, thank you for I always wondered how that all happened. It was just so random. If it just felt like it was so random. But obviously,
Yeah.
there's a lot that goes to it, and a lot of thought involved. When you went to I'm assuming to the Grammys a bunch of times. How many Grammys has Donna won in her, before and after? Because I know she's been awarded,
Uh,
obviously after her passing as well.
yeah, she has 5 Grammys, and then she has a Grammy. Now she has the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, and this coming June, she's being inducted into the Songwriter Hall of Fame.
Yes,
So,
that's great.
which, which I know is something that she would cherish very highly. Donna was a great songwriter, and as you said, the thing about Donna is that she was such a great singer that people always zeroed in on the voice, but you know, to to what you were saying earlier about how great that you think she is, and she was great on so many levels. She was a great entertainer. She was great with an audience. She could make you laugh. She was funny. Um, she could sing high and sweet and strong and belted and had a great sense of melody and a great sense of poetry and lyric writing. And but the greatest thing about her was her who she was as a human being. She was a great wife. She was a great mother. She was a great friend. She's was a great sister. She was just exceptional on every level. I've met many great people, and I've never met anybody like Donna.
Oh, oh.
So
Well, you said great
so you have
sister.
good taste.
But thank you, thank you. No, I'm telling you, I have like young nieces and nephews. I'm like, I want you to listen to this music, okay?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
music. Um, when you said she was funny, and if for everybody listening, if you have not seen the HBO special, please see the HBO special. It's so sweet, it's so wonderful, and one of the things that I noticed about her, because this is honestly, and I'm a fan, this was sort of like the first time I really saw her off camera, not, sing. It was a documentary. So you had these home movies and just in her natural habitat, not all made up. She's still beautiful, of course, but like in her robe. And she was funny. That was the thing. I remember there was a few times that I was like, look, she really had a good sense of humor. You can totally see it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I guess you never had the opportunity to see her at a live show, but
Didn't.
she could have an audience rolling in the aisles, and the thing that was great about Adana's show is that, she really took you on a roller coaster ride. She could take you high and then take you all the way down and make you laugh and then, ride you off into the sunset and leave you feeling exhilarated and walking out of that venue feeling like, okay, I can face tomorrow and I can deal with it and let's go,
Well, it's
we certainly can use that spirit in the world right now.
yeah. Well, I mean, but that was the job of the entertainer. The job, and I'm not trying to put anybody down. I'm just saying, when I go to a show, I mean, I'm a stand up. Stand ups have a little bit more leeway. Although, quite frankly, for me, I make fun of my husband. I make fun of myself. I make fun of getting older. I make fun of the kids. Like that's sort of my thing. Yeah, I'm Greek. I talk about that. I'm not.
Hmm.
I just want to entertain people. I just want people to laugh and just forget.
Hmm.
And we're all entitled to our opinion, whatever opinion that is. But, and I'm sure you can agree that it's politics and entertainment are now meshed together. And even if it's somebody that I agree with, I still kind of don't want to hear anything. I just want to be entertained. Give me your song, give me your story, give me, because
Yeah.
I get enough of that,
Yeah.
normally.
Yeah.
So, uh,
Yeah.
I feel like that was a time. I mean, I know, I mean, the '60s. I know there was a lot of a political upheaval, and there was a lot of music that bore out of that. But I think in the '70s, and certainly in Donna's music, it wasn't about that.
Right.
So I miss that, and but it is what it is. People are going to say
Yeah,
what they're
well,
going to
the
say, and
culture changes, and you know, things move and things change, and now is a very volatile time in the world, and like you said, in the '60s, it was another volatile time, and people spoke up, and so now, people feel the need to speak up, and but that doesn't mean right after this period we're going to go back into another period of where like enough of that and things will settle down and people will just want to feel good and escape. Um, it's hard to do right now, but it's hard to escape right now.
yeah,
It's everywhere.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. What so there's always been this story that after years of Donna performing all of these songs that are sexy and hot and whatever, that she and I love your obviously what really went on. Did she later on regret some of the music that she sang, or because she was Christian, very Christian? Just explain to me. I don't even want to ask. So, what kind of happened afterwards? Is it true or not true, or she was comfortable, or she finally found peace with it, or where was
yeah,
it
I
at?
I, I think
And by the way, I'm Christian as well, so I understand. I get
Mhm,
it because as an artist too, as a comedian, there's things, material, subjects that I would never go to. It's just not my
mhm,
thing. So
mhm,
anyway,
mhm.
yeah, please.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I mean, Donna had an interesting beginning, because her breakthrough song was Love to Love You, Baby. And it was a very sensual song, let's put it that way. And she, performed it very sensually. And, so initially her image was based a lot around that. And, it kind of just happened. Really wasn't, it wasn't like that she planned to do this. She had an idea for a song, they recorded the song, and then it just took on a life of its own. And so at some point in time, when, our daughters were growing, I think Donna became a little self-conscious about performing it. She reaffirmed her faith in Christ at some point, and felt compromised and, maybe even a little guilty about, that and what it portrayed to other young girls. And so for a while, for a number of years, she wouldn't perform it.
Mhm.
And then at some point, she got to another place where she was at peace with it and resolved to it, and was able to perform the song just as a musical piece, without the overt sexuality of the performance. And so yeah, so that's kind of how that was kind of that cycle, and
And it's really, now that I hear you talk about it, it's the evolution of a human being, right? I mean,
yeah,
you
absolutely.
do something at one point, more years go on, you have other experiences, it's like maybe I shouldn't have done that, and then you get to a point and it's like, well, it's okay. I didn't mean any harm. That's just what it was at the time. And so I'm really glad that you
Yeah,
explained that, because that was always
yeah,
sort of like a curiosity to me, like, oh, that's sad that she she, I thought she had real regrets, but she did, like you said, made peace with that. And I understand she was a mom. I'm one of three girls, a mom of three girls. It's different when you have daughters. You want to be a role model, et cetera, et cetera. And the time was, of course, a lot more conservative then. And so I really like can understand what
Yeah. No.
what transpired.
Yeah,
What
but like you said, throughout it all, was always very elegant. And eloquent, and poised. So
um I'm 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 so sad that her life was cut short. She was young, still in her early 60s, and and I remember, of course, when it happened, I was shocked. I've got, I didn't, obviously, nobody knew, or you kept it private, however it was. I remember just sort of like, I just saw that and I was like, oh my gosh. And so, so toward the sort of the last few years of her life, I don't know exactly when she, knew that she was, sick. But what like, did she want to kind of go back into the studio and make different music? Like, where was she at that point?
well, she had just put out. She went through a period of time. I think it was like maybe 17 years where she really didn't make a full album, and but we toured a few months of the year, and we had great fun on the road. We would build the tours around when the kids were off, and the kids worked backstage, and it was great. But she was like, she made a few records, and people weren't playing them. She said, well, you know, I, I'm just not going to make a record. If they're not going to play the record, why should I make it? So she just kept working. And then in about 2008, she made a new record, and it was called Crayons, and did very well. A few of the songs went to the top of the dance charts again, if I remember correctly. And it was soon after that uh, that she got sick. So, and even after the Crayons album, she put out a couple of other songs. She put out a song called "To Paris with Love," and one other one that I'm not thinking of right now. But yeah, but she was always creative. She was a super creative person. As you saw in the documentary, she also was a painter.
Yes,
So
yes.
she did exhibitions of her artwork, different parts of the world, and um, never had a very busy mind and a very creative mind, and was always creating on multiple levels, even if she wasn't making a record.
Who do you, if you had a guess, who do you think she would have, whose music she would have liked today? In today's, would she have liked Taylor Swift or Katy Perry, or do do you do, do you think that
Yeah, no,
Jennifer Lopez, who's a real, entertainer?
I think that uh, she when you understand how much work it takes and the amount of commitment it takes to become successful in any business, uh, you have respect for that person, whether they be the best singer, or everybody has their own special little mix of chemistry.
Right.
Um, but if I had to say, I mean, I know Donna loved Whitney.
Oh,
We both loved Aretha,
mhm.
uh, um, and I think and Donna really liked Lady Gaga. And it
Oh,
was
yeah.
kind of and it was early on, and she recognized you know this girl is special. So yeah, so that's the way I would answer that
Did
question.
Donna and Whitney, did they do a Divas VH1 thing together? Did they do anything?
No,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
it
They
was
never
a
they never sang together or never interacted with each other?
No, they interacted, but they never
Okay.
sang together.
Uh,
But Donna did a Divas with Diana Ross and Mariah Carey, I think it was, if I
okay,
remember
okay.
correctly.
I knew it was one of them. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I mean, amazing, amazing. So tell us just to wrap up what you've been doing, and also your daughters are involved, aren't they, in the business to a
Uh, yeah, yeah.
I know there's the Donna Summer, properties that obviously you all manage, but
Yes. Well, my daughter Brooklyn is an actress. She started out, she was a regular on a show called My Wife and Kids. And
oh, she was on that? Oh,
she
okay.
played, yeah,
Yeah,
she
okay.
was on my, and has done all kinds of TV and Taken and CSIs and all these kind of things. And she also co-directed Love to Love You, Donna Summer, the documentary.
Hmm.
Um, Mimi, who is the oldest girl, is the mother of four, um, and is just a beautiful woman and a very funny girl. And my youngest daughter, Amanda, is in a band called Johnny Swim. It's a duo with her husband, Abner. And they are fairly successful, touring around the country here and there. We all just got back from Edinburgh because Amanda and Abner wrote the music for a new musical called One Day. And One Day was also a very famous book. It was also a famous movie and a famous TV series. So now they're doing it as a musical, and it just opened a few weeks ago in Edinburgh. The whole family was there for the opening, and it goes to London in the fall. So if you're around and you see One Day, go see One Day, and you'll hear
Yeah.
the music of Abner and Amanda, and they're also touring as Johnny Swim all the time. And yeah, I have nine grandchildren. Uh, and I'm remarried. I live half the year in Milan, half the year in Los Angeles. Ever since Donna passed away, I've been making solo albums and touring on my own. And
Will you
my
be doing
next
anything
record,
I'm sorry, will you be doing anything in New York?
yeah, in the spring.
Okay, great. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I cut you off. Your next
yeah,
album?
no, I have my next record's coming out in mid-April. It's called Sketchbook, and new singles out right now. It's called Make the World Go Away. Check it out on Spotify and all your favorite streaming places. YouTube, you can YouTube it on your walk home. And yeah, so like that. So God is good. I'm a blessed man, and like that.
I cannot thank you enough. This was such a joy. You are so fascinating. And I feel like although I didn't get to meet her when she was here on Earth, but I feel like I got to know Donna a bit and got to express how much she means to me. Uh,
Yeah,
and a lot, and my friends, and
yeah,
wait till I tell
yeah,
people. And
yeah.
she really, there's so many people that you obviously don't know and don't meet that have been touched by her music, moved by her music, had
Absolutely.
happy experiences with her music. Her music
Yes.
makes you happy.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you can see, and I'm so glad that you made that documentary, by the way, which I'm sure, that was a whole nother huge project. But it
Yes.
was really great because we really got to get a glimpse of her because, like I said,
Yeah.
I don't recall. Um, First of all, TV was so completely different back then. There weren't that many, but I
Right.
don't really able to recall ever her really like speaking, which is
Yeah.
pathetic.
No.
But you know what I'm saying? Because usually she was
Yeah.
out just singing. So we
Yes.
got to see that. But this was a joy. Everybody, check out Bruce Sudano. I love your last name, but it's such a great last name. And his
Yes.
music. And if you have to listen to Donna Summer, listen to me, okay? You have to listen to Donna Summer music. It makes you happy, and just grab your spouse or your partner or whoever, your friend, your kid. You can dance to it or just listen to it, and God rest her soul. And I'm Greek, and when someone is not here anymore, we say, "May their memory be eternal." And clearly, we keep because we talk about people. That's how we keep them alive, is that we talk about people that are not here.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad we have this opportunity to do that. I want you to just hang on a second, because I'm going to wrap up, and then I just want to talk to you about there. Thank you, everybody. And you know me, Ellen Karis. Bruce, are you on Instagram? Are you on social?
I am, of course. Yes.
Your name, Bruce Sudano?
Bruce Sudano,
okay,
yep.
Right. Yep. Okay. Follow Bruce. Follow me. I'm a Greek chick comic. Also on TikTok at Greek Chick Comic. Until next time, thank you. Bye.
Bye.